Hi everybody, welcome to today's flower class. So in this demonstration I'll be teaching you how to do a pumpkin arrangement. You've all got the same stock selection as myself, so let's get cracking on. What I'd probably suggest you to do is to watch what I'm doing. Obviously because it's recorded you can pause it, then replicate what I've done, unpause me, go to the next bit. And when you feel like, okay, she said enough, I'm going to get to that point, pause me and do it. You've got the luxury, you can rewind and view again. So make the most of the pause button. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't try and copy mine exactly because it's your own interpretation of the design that we're doing. If you want to go bigger, smaller, entirely up to yourself. Okay, so let's get started. Also, before I get to the end and you all forget, when you've done this, obviously I'm not doing it through Zoom for this class. This is just a recorded one that's been sent out. Please send me pictures of your finished displays because it's nice to see what you've done when you put them in your own situ. So let's get cracking. So you've all received your little goodie bag of bits and pieces and sundries, and obviously the selection of the flowers that you're making your displays in. So I've got exactly the same as yourself. In there you should have 2 sheets of cellophane. One of them I've put on my work table just to stop the mess, especially at home because you haven't got like a bench like I've got. And you can put all your rubbish in it, cup it all up at the end and put it in the bin. And then the second sheet, as we mentioned when you all collected, is to line your pumpkin. So you've all prepared your pumpkin already. If you haven't at this point in time, you're probably having a panic. You may want to pause me, go and cut your pumpkin out, carve all the inners out so it's nice and tidy like that, and then unpause me and start again. Okay, so I'm hoping you're all prepared. Also, we would have mentioned to you about wetting your oasis. I've got exactly the same block as yours, pre-soaked. Again, if you haven't, pause me now, go and soak it and come back. So I'm going to put my cellophane right on the top of my arrangement and put it in. So this is just to create a barrier between the flower foam and the inner of the pumpkin, because obviously then we can water inside without it making the inside of the pumpkin wet, because obviously it's going to get juicy and there's more of a chance you're going to get a soggy bottom. We don't like a soggy bottom. The excess I'm just going to cut off to about 2 inches all the way round. And again, I really have got an added advantage here where all my rubbish I can throw on the floor, so you can be as rogue as you want to at home, your preference. So I'll put that off. And now that's sitting nice and proud. I have got my lid on the side ready and I have scraped off all the juicy bits and seeds from the back. So that's going to be going on shortly. So first of all, in my selection, I'm going to be using my trailing ruscus, and then there should be leather leaf, which is like a fern, like that sort of leaf. Then my 2 foliages that I'm going to use first. So the first bit, that's just way too big to use as that. So I'm going to cut it into small little sections, post out my stem. That's one. Do the same on my other one. Cut there, and cut there. Just get a little bit more, and then I'm going to put my leather leaf on one side of my arrangement. And then a mirror image, so directly opposite, I'm going to put it on that side. So if you bring the camera over, you'll see some leather leaf there, and then the leather leaf is there. So they're opposite each other. In between that, on those sides, I'm now going to put my trailing ruscus. So I'm just going to cut all that. The top bit, which is this, is too pretty just to be down the side. So I'm going to leave that a little bit longer because he's going to go in my centre just there. And then these other bits, I'm going to cut them like so. So it's the same-ish length as my leather leaf that I've just put in. I'm quite fortunate on my stem there. Each little section's quite long. If it's not, that one's not too long, I'm going to leave that on the main stem. So you're just trying to get as much as you can out. I'm going to cut that there, so I can still use that. And now these are going to go in the corners that we haven't used. So I'm going to go opposites to each other. So I'm going to have one corner that's got leather leaf, another corner's got trailing ruscus, the bit in front of me has got leather leaf, and then that side's got trailing ruscus. So they're all at opposites. So I'm just going to keep going, putting that in. I'm just going to work up to the centre just to create that pyramid shape. So I'm looking like this. Okay. So what you see at the front is exactly what you see at the back. But this is where it's going to vary a little bit now, because I'm going to put the pumpkin lid onto the front of the arrangement. And to do so, you would have had a skewer with a sharp point. Be very careful as you do this, because obviously I don't want it to go through your hand. But if you judge where the centre is in the stalk, I want you to push that in. I'm just going to cut off that bit there. And then this is going to go into my oasis. Might need that a bit shorter actually, because I don't want it to come through the other side and damage my lining. I'm going to push that all the way in. Oh, that hasn't worked. All the way in like that. It's quite a heavy lid, that one is. So I'm looking like that. Okay. The good thing about doing it at home rather than doing it in a class, when you haven't got to transport it afterwards, all you've got to do is very gently pick it up and put it to where you want it to go to in your home. Transporting it with a lid like that might have been a little bit like, you might have had to take your lid off while you're travelling and put it on when you got home. So the next flowers that I'm popping in my bucket, again, same as yourselves. I've got two like autumnal shades of roses. These are like a two-tone rose. Then I've got two carnations. So again, we're always working on the same stem length as the leather leaf. Looking at the rose, does it need tidying up? Got a small little imperfection on the storm leaf. Just very gently take that off. It's just the leaf that gets battered while it's been growing by heat, light, etc. That's going in the front there. And then the other one just a little bit shorter. Again, just tidying up any damaged leaves from growing. And that will just be at the front of it. Just there. I will turn it around in a second, so don't worry. Next bit is two carnations, which I'll cut to the same length as those roses. And to encourage them to open, just going to give it just a little brush. It's just that, so when the carnation is wanting to open, you've stopped any like sealed petals and it should be a bit fluffier. And I'm going to pop that on this side. So I've got my roses on the front. I'll pick it up and show you. Next to my lid. And I've got my carnations there. After that, I've got two gerberas. And then I've got this beautiful chrysanthemum bloom. So with your gerberas, you've got a wire in your bag. You hold it underneath, push it in so it pops, but not that it goes all the way through. And just give yourself a twizzle. Don't be heavy-handed with this. So pop, and then turn. And again, you're going to cut those to the same length as you have been on your roses. So I've got one going there, and then the other one just a little bit shorter above it. There. So I've got little pockets now, pocket there, pocket there, and pocket there. I've got my beautiful chrysanthemum bloom, which I've just cut quite short so it matches the same stem lengths that we're using, and he's just going just there. In my bucket you should have some red safari, and if you just come a little bit close, I'm going to show you how to cut it. Obviously the stem itself's too long, but if you open up your stems like that and cut it, I've got that bit that hasn't been cut, and then this bit here we just take that bottom foliage off. So in effect you've got two, and you have one in the centre. And with the same again, just come down your stem, cut that one a bit shorter to there, and then I've got that. And as you're looking at that flower now, you can't see that I've taken the centre out. So I'm just going to group that around the middle. That one's at the front, and a little bit at the back. So we're looking like this. So now it's starting to take its shape. And now we're going to bam him in with a bit of texture. Let's just bring everything that's autumn now into this. So I'm just going to readjust it so the centre's at my front with the lid on. I should have oak leaves and eucalyptus. And I've just cut them off. Again, the same sort of sizes as the leather leaf that we used. And I'm just putting them in the foam into little groups. So I've done a little pocket there, a little pocket here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of another little pocket by the lid. I'll turn it around and show you again in a minute. Got eucalyptus. Obviously that's just way too big to use, so I'm just going to break that down into smaller, manageable chunks. That, I wish I could use it, but it's too long, so I'm better off cutting the middle out and then leaving that like that. And then I'm going to pop that into little pockets. And the good thing with the eucalyptus, because it's quite like a light green, sagey sort of colour, it adds a lovely contrast. It smells beautiful. So I'm looking like this. Put a little bit more in, and then we're nearly finished. So what I've got left now in my flower selection is this dried protea. So it literally is a real protea that's obviously been dried down, so it will just stay like that, but I feel like that will look quite interesting just above my lid. If you've got another spot where you think it might look great, then pop it there. I've got some orange willow. Again, it's too big to use it as it is, so I'm just going to cut them down into lengths that will sit nice within my foliages. I'm just going to dot them through. Add a bit of spike. Don't worry at this point if you're looking and you think, oh, I've got gaps, because we have got quite a bit to put in still in the way of cones and a few more berries. I'm just cutting up my last one. Got that through. And I'll quickly turn it around. I like these because it makes it look a little bit fiery. So we're looking like that. Roses, carnations, gerberas, the big bloom, and everything else is in little pockets around it. It's quite heavy. Got a hypericum, which which is just a berry. I'm just going to cut that into little sections, get as much as I can off it. I'm going to put that there, just as a little bit of interest around the back. We have red wheat. It's funny doing this video knowing that you're going to pause me, because I think, oh, do I need to stop? And I think, oh no, you've got your pause button, you've got rewind, and I'm dotting those through. Just cut them. And again, all the stem lengths are the same stems as our foliage in length, so they all should just sort of be knitting together lovely now. I'm going to turn this round to you. Now the last thing that you've got to put in is your cones, and then we're done. So I hope you've enjoyed it as it is. So just do this last little bit. So hold your cone upside down with the bum in the air. You take your wire, leave a little bit hanging over the edge, come all the way back round to the start and give them a twizzle. Like that. I'm going to do that with all of them very quickly. Upside down, all the way around its teeth. Always make sure bum in the air. Got 6 to do. And then we'll put them in. So when we put these in, again, we're going to put them in little pockets. So that's going to be 3 pockets of 2 that we'll be popping in. I hope you're all enjoying this. Okay, that's all my 6 done. I'm just going to cut the wires down just a little bit because they're probably a little bit too long. I'm only cutting a couple of inches off. Okay, so here we go. 1. Just push that into your foam. 2. I'm going to do a little pocket at the back. 1, 2, and we'll do a pocket here. 1, 2, and that's it. We're done. So I'm going to give it a turn around. Could do with one of those lazy Susies, really. Here we go. But then again, I don't think a lazy Susie would take the weight of it. And that is your arrangement. So hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me on this recorded class. We obviously got other classes, so if you're interested in doing it again, we're doing Christmas wreaths, etc. A few different scheduled things over the year. So get in touch, we can send you details. Please send me a picture of your finished one. Thank you very much. Bye.